You are also the head of the International Business Council, and I know that you've been looking at a lot of the things that have been circulating through Davos, talking about sustainability and other issues. I think you have some news about what Bank of America is up to with some of those issues right now.
Yeah, so we have had a commitment to environmental sustainability for a long period of time. The word sustainability is used in the Davos context, a broader one. We'll come back to that. But when I became CEO, we had a commitment, I think, $25 billion. We doubled it to 50. 4 years ago, we went to $125 billion, and we completed it in 4 years. It was a 10-year commitment. So given that, we've now announced a $300 billion commitment over the next 10 years. To make sure we can do that on a business basis and drive the business, Ann Finucane, who runs a lot of this for us, our ESG work and everything, this team with Tom Montag, who runs the business, in the Sustainable Markets Council, because the business opportunity to deploy that money is huge, whether it's green bonds, whether it's different types of financings for solar installations, wind installations, and different technologies is tremendous. And so every business has to give to the office in order to get $300 billion done. So whether it's small businesses making a transition, medium-sized businesses, or large, getting to their carbon neutral commitments, we can help them finance that. And so we need the whole company to be driving at it, and Ann and Tom will drive that forward.
Between what you're doing and the kind of things you're hearing from Larry Fink, do you think it's actually going to change the way business operates? Meaning, do you think that companies are actually going to fundamentally change because they want a better score from Larry and because they want a loan from you?
Well, it's even deeper than that. It's that we have to get, what we're working with the International Business Council is to define Klaus's vision of stakeholder capitalism starting 50 years ago through all the derivations, the BRT statement, the 2017 signature by all of us that we're going to support the SDGs, the 2015 SDGs. So what you're trying to say is you can deliver profit, you can deliver success for customers, employees, and shareholders, and you can deliver on the society, the SDGs. And so we're defining the metrics to judge that. That ought to allow owners of assets, managers like Larry Fink of assets, and operators to say success is along this dimension. So to give you a simple way to think about it, Klaus and I sent out a letter with Fiki to everybody saying, what date are you carbon neutral and can you commit to it? And if all the companies, our partners at Davos, commit to carbon neutrality, we're carbon neutral as of this year. Matter of fact, we made it at year end. That will help drive the demand for the alternative energies that the power companies need to get them carbon neutral. And so that kind of iteration by having a simple set of 22 metrics is what we're shooting for.
Is that a message that resonates with investors?
It does, because as you, to Andrew's point, as you go into investors now, the people that own the assets, our $3 trillion at Merrill Lynch, $25 billion of it's already in ESG funds and more of it's going there, but all investors are saying, hey, I want you to invest in companies who are doing the right thing by society.
Isn't there a cost to all of this? And the reason I say that is for you to be carbon neutral, you're buying carbon credits from other people. Yeah. And it effectively means that long-term, everybody can't buy carbon credits, right, because there's not going to be enough of it, right?
Right, but this is why the power companies have to make the real progress, because at the end of the day, the power generation scheme has to.
It has to work, though, too, Brian. I mean, the Journal had a great editorial on this, on whether down the road, you know, a lot of IPC forecasts were way overstated on what the warming is going to be. If they're wrong about how serious it's going to be in the next 20, 30, 40 years, and you're forcing a move into renewables where gigawatt prices is twice what it should be, it's going to hurt developing countries, it's going to hurt everyone, it's going to hurt shareholders, and making these decisions where it's going to have consequences. Being woke is going to have consequences if it doesn't work out right.
So the key is to think about that balance and let companies, let the industry and their owners drive it, as opposed to having it mandated.
Right.
Whether we're going to be right 50 years out will be
BlackRock voted against 80% of climate initiatives in proxies.
I did see that.
So, I mean, it sounds great. We're in Davos, and everybody's talking the talk, but...
I get that. People say, isn't this greenwashing? I say, which part of $300 billion do you understand is not greenwashing? I mean, this is not some small thought process, and it's a business force, and so we do a lot of business. So the point is...
We'll see what happens. Like the guy who's going to talk in about an hour likes to say, we'll see what happens.
He has a very different view of all of this.
He does.